One mini world, one creation dream.
We have the class objectives. Today we are going to learn some things. We already take a step ahead. In the last class we learned how to create some basic triggers. Now we are going to start with the scenario basic elements with the game plan, so you will know for sure how to structure a map, how to create the base for a map in the concept, and then you can move and just place that into a real game, okay? And most important, as I'm going to focus this minicamp in teach you how to use fully and understand how the graphic interface, how the user interface works, I want to start to teaching you the graphic design fundamentals. At the end of the class, you will know some basic things to create very beautiful UIs that will be like a step ahead and look more like a professional thing. Because probably if you notice, when you try to create your user interface, sometimes it doesn't end as you like it. You hope it's going to be more like beautiful, more like aesthetical one. And with this, you are going to have the basic tools. And the class of tomorrow, we are going to start to learn another things about this. We are going to learn how to. So to the scenario basic elements, okay guys? Before we start creating, your map, what I highly recommend is to do a sketch about your map, okay? So in the screen, I bring some of the basic ideas I create before starting creating my maps, okay? So if you already play the map, you are going to realize that the final idea or the final map, the final scenario, it's very similar to the one you are seeing on the screen. Okay, so that's what you can see on the screen. If you check, it's very similar, okay? And what I did is actually separate and first do a schedule just for know how the art of the map is going to look like. And also most important guys, I separate by locations. You can see that the auditorium is going to be the big one that you can see on here. Okay, that the hell square is going to be this small square where you are going to do the party. That is this one that you see on here. The Caronte beach is a beach that actually you can see back here. That is where you can play the water games. Now we have the player dungeons that are going to be those houses. Of course, I need 8 of them. And so I have to change that a little bit. I have to move this to be able to put this in another area, okay? It's going to look a little bit better. And also, you will have something like the art room, which actually plays and divides into. This is going to be for sculpture, this is going to be for painting the walls. The Hellhatam Street, that is going to be the street in the middle, which actually have to modify a little bit. And also, if you see, there are some locations that are not in the final version. As an example, I was planning to place a market right in the middle. I weren't able to have enough time to place the market, so I just left the space here, okay? So, why is it important to define this? Because you will be able to plan your construction, and also you will be able to just plan where your activities are going to be. So remember that this game is going to have different activities, and those activities are going to be or happened in specific locations, okay? So, as an example, once more, if you see my screen, you will see that everything is divided, okay? So, of course, you cannot see those blocks in player, but the whole square is separated, so you're going to have some activities here, and the players cannot exit from here, okay? It's going to be a separate space. Also, this Hellhatam Street, where the players are going to play the decoration of the dungeon, it's going to be separated. If you see, the art room for sculpture is also separated. Of course, you have a door, but players cannot exit. And, of course, all the areas in the scenario that are going to be standalone playable are going to be separated, okay? So, I bring you some rules that you can apply for constructing this. Some rules you can apply for any map. or others are going to be just for this map, okay? So the first rule that I always bring to you guys is 64 max playable area. Now, this other rule is for this map, for each one of the different activities that you are going to place or the locations, you need to create an area where the players are going to spawn, okay? So how it's going to work, guys, okay? I want you to see you have this area here, okay? And as you see, I have like the different areas here, the ones I show you here, okay? As an example, we have the auditorium here. So we have the auditorium in this area, and the players are going to spawn anyway, any part around this area, okay? So also, if you see, I have the sculpture room here. So the sculpture room is going to have the same rules, guys. If you see here, you have the sculpture room, and the players are going to spawn around this area. Now, this is also going to be an important rule, guys. Be sure that your players cannot, and very big guys, cannot exit from the playable area. What that is, I mean with this, I don't mean that they cannot exit from the game, I mean they cannot exit from the area, okay? The fourth rule is make it wow, okay? And this is very important, guys. Make it wow means that you can place just a normal square area, but as this is going to be a party game, and this is going to be very related with the visual parts, I need you to make it look amazing, okay? Be impressive for the players. Normal constructions are not going to work, so try to just make it standing for the players, okay? So try to place some decorations, sculptures, make the players be amazed by the construction, okay? This is going to be very important, guys, and it's a mistake I see that a lot of you are committing right now in a lot of constructions, okay? I know that the people who actually is very advanced at Miniware doesn't suffer of this. You need to give a different color to the floor than the walls, okay? So check that if the walls and the floor and the roof have the same color, it's not going to look that good, okay? If you enter here, also you are going to see that everything is very similar, okay? So it's going to be very confusing. Of course, that depends on the construction, but most of the times this is going to work. A quick trick that you can use is just to change this, okay? So once you change the color, and also check, we are using like different blocks, but all the blocks are going to look the same because it's the same color. But if you do something like this, guys, I don't know, let's do this. Okay, it's going to look better, but check that we are not using colors because the floor is white and this is gray. It's looking better, but it still left something, but now looks better for the players and not also for the visual part. Also, you are going to see that the walls are going to be more noticeable for the players, so the players are going to really know what's happening there, okay? As you see now, just by that detail, it's going to look more like a house. It's going to have, I forgot to change this also, just give me a second. Let's do this. Okay, where is it? It's around this area and that. All right, so guys, check this. Now the house looks much better just by changing the colors, okay? Of course you need to combine it, but as you see, it's going to look more like a house and less like a normal part of the floor, okay? That was just a quick example. And the last rule, guys, the last rule that you can apply here is don't let your players die. This is just for this game. Remember that if you have a fighting game, of course you want the players to die. But in this one, be sure that the players are not going to die. If the players die, there's going to be a problem because probably it's going to ruin the gameplay, okay? So as this game is not about killing, you may be sure that the players cannot die, okay? And now we're gonna move to the gameplay, okay? the one I'm going to teach you and how I create this map, okay? First, as always, I recommend it to you for doing this specific briefed about the information or the map that you're going to create. I'm going to show you how I did mine. Okay, so the project name for my end is going to be Hell's Party, okay? What is going to be the genre? It's going to be social game and Tycoon. Remember that you have to do a Tycoon game for be able to participate. The theme is going to be health and parties. The art style, as you see here, the art style is very cartoonish. It's very cartoon, like Adventure Time, like any cartoon that you see in your life. That's going to be the art style I'm using for this. Okay, even so you can see those statues here about the small demons, and also you can see here that even in the back you have also a face right here. Okay, so the story is very, very simple. The story I place is this one. This is the health of Paris, and we only have one rule: to party until the end of the world. That's going to be the story. And tonight in the game we choose the king of the carnival party from the hell. And that's the idea. What you have to do in the game is just to do different activities to be the most party and awesome player, okay? The target group, of course, this is going to depend of your end. In my end, I have a specific target group that is going to be for you guys, okay? So, this is going to be for teaching. This map is not going to be actually the map that I usually create. It's more to teach you how to do it. This is going to be dedicated or designed for minicamp students from America, Asia, and Spain in intermediate level, okay? That means that you have to know something about how to manipulate games or create games in Multiverse to be able to assist to the minicamp. For the monetization in this game, I didn't place it. Remember, on the previous minicamp, I placed a lot of ideas. And remember, the monetization needs to be very related with the target group. The only advice that I'm going to give you today is, guys, never, ever, ever do a fully pay to win. It's going to be very boring for the players. Probably you are going to get some sales, but the players are going to be very bored because they are going to see that you need to pay to win, of course, and probably they won't be able to, or they won't like to play your game. So that is going to be at the beginning very good, but after some time the players are not going to play anymore your games because they are going to recognize that you're actually always creating those kind of games. So on the long term, you are going to see that your earns are going to be reduced, okay? Try to find a more friendly way to win. Now, for the differentials, guys, remember, I always teach you this. The differential is why I'm going to play your game, why your Tycoon or your party game is going to be different from the other party and Tycoon games that you can find in Multiverse or in any other game, okay? So, I have my special difference. The first is the character design and the scenario design. The second one is that I play social activities that most of Multiverse doesn't have. So remember, on here, you are going to have a lot of activities. Let me show you. So you have sing, comedy, rap battle. There are social activities which you can make friends and you can just make in luck with some friends. So you have draw, statue, and dungeon testing. It's the same when you don't want to activate your mic. And also you have some mini games, okay? So if you see here, I have some social activities that are going to be the main differential. And probably yours too, because you already going to know how to do it. Now, apart from the art, I'm going to make colorful buildings and decorations, which actually is not a big differential, but it's most of the games. Another one is the one that you can do voice games in Multiverse that most of them are not going to have. And of course, as my old differential for all the different games, is that I really know how to do scripts. So this is going to be a differential. I'm actually very good at this. I'm actually very good at creating scripts. So that's going to be a big differential, okay? And now some technical part about this scenario. First, the playable area in total is 157, but every part is less. Every playable part, that means the art room, the auditorium, is going to be less than 65. 4, okay? That's very important, guys. Remember, that will be very helpful here. Okay, just a second. Let me try to escape from here. I fall in a loop. Okay, my bad, and now I'm on, okay? So, this is going to be a big differential, guys. No, well, sorry, not a differential. And it's that, a big requirement. Players needs to be a max 10 players, okay? I designed my map that way, and I highly recommend it to design yours to define how many players can play at max. Remember that it's not the same to play for 20 players that play for 5. In these kind of games, of course, you are going to have a limitation, and it's the space, okay? So let me show you this very quickly. Just a second. And as I'm going to play for 10 players, I put a walls number for each player, and the max amount of players are going to be 10 players, okay? So as you see, these rules, or the game, is designed for 10 players. The characters are going to be demons. The win conditions, that's the most important part, guys, are going to be the most awesome player won. The playtime is not limited, but the players most of the times are going to be played in between 10 to 15 minutes. And the other rules is that the host manage all the game, okay? Now, guys, our game, the game that we are going to create, has like different scenarios, okay? So every time that we choose an activity, or we are going to have the time to choose, we are going to have 3 different states. The state 0, it's going to be when the player chooses which activity are going to be the next. That means that when I do this, as you see here, if you place here, you are, well, actually this is not working fine for some reason, but this is going to be state 0. Only state 0, the host cannot move, and the players will be able to move around freely, okay? Once the player chooses the activity that is going to play, we are going to have 10 seconds of relax, okay? In the 10 seconds of relax, we are going to set up some variables for the game, but the players will be able to move freely. So check this, you have the relax time here on the top, okay? And when the game, or when the time for relax ends, you are going to be teleported to the area, which actually is going to be the activity. You are going to have 108 seconds. Also, you are going to have a time before that, as you see here. And you can use different things like the react part here that you can use to react to other player performance. Of course, you can see the awesome method here also, okay? That's going to be the 3 different like stats that we are going to have. So be very pending to this, guys, because I'm going to teach you how to do this, and you will learn how to just make that for saving a lot of time, okay? Now, we are going to have like different things, and this is going to be the most important things before we going to start, okay? You have to create a list of your activities, okay? For this specific minicamp, you are going to create those activities, and I need you to place the next information. First, remember we have an ID for the activity, okay? So we have a number for it. My activity 0 and 1 is going to be the same as yours. So this one is not going to move. You can start creating your activities apart from the number 2, okay? So in my case, 0 means no activity. Once more, means this. 0 means this, okay? Sorry, guys. Then the number 1, you are not going to move it, please. And also, let me do this directly, okay? I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to just put it here so you can no move this, okay? Those ones, you're not going to move it. And relax time. Once more, if you see it's just the same, it's number 1. It's going to be relax time. And then you can create your activities. And I need you to think about it and make the list, guys, because it's very important. So first, we are going to have a number, an ID. And the number 2 means that the activity name, or what we are going to do, is to sync, okay? Let me just place it here once more, okay? If you see the activity number 2 is sing, okay? What I need you to do is for each activity, you are going to play a text. What is going to work the text? When the players react to the player, the game is going to tell that the player is reacting for that name, okay? So as an example, if you set a like for a player, it's going to tell Pepito Perez or YeyoCore loves the song from X person, okay? Now, comedy is going to be the number 3 in my end. As you see here, I have comedy here. And of course, what you do on comedies, you do jokes, okay? So just place the action here. So when you sing a song. When you do comedy, you place a joke. When you do a rap battle, you rap with rhymes. When you draw, you make a drawing. When you do a statue, well, you can do a statue. When you do a dungeon, you are going to decorate it, and so on, okay? So now, apart from that, I need you to think about this. Which items the player is going to have in the hands for when the activity is going to start, okay? So, if your player is going to have, as an example, anything, just place it here, okay? So, as an example, you see that all those 3 are voice activities. Okay, so as these 3 are going to be voice activities, you're gonna see that here I'm not going to have anything. I'm going to just delete it. In 10 seconds we are going to check that. So that means that for that game you don't need any item, okay? You're gonna see it. Okay, use your microphone to sing. As you see, the instructions are here and also here. And as you see, my inventory doesn't have anything, okay? No items here. But, and this is very important but, okay? Okay guys, this is going to be a very important but. If I choose an activity, okay? Like a statue or like drawing, okay? Let's reduce the time so we don't have to wait that much. You're going to see that my inventory part okay, and you are going to see that a little bit. Okay, so for those that are wondering my age, I have 30 years. So you can see that here, guys. You can see that we are going to have the items here. So drawing, it's going to have a painter, and you have to place the amount. Painted egg for 128 and wins. And if you see here, you can see that I have those items in my inventory. The painter, the X, 64th and 64th, and finally the wings. And that's what you think. Of course, you are not going to have my activities. You can place whatever activity you want. But very important, guys, be sure that you just set this according to your roles, okay? And now let me shows or change this a little bit, okay? So we are going to start to creating some things with this, okay? So what I need you to do, it's that you are going to access right here to the developer tools. You are going to move to trigger and you are going to do a variable library, okay? And you are going to create a new variable. You are going to choose the next things, okay? And this is very important, guys. Just do it as I'm going to do it. You are going to select this one, character string, okay? And you are going to name it. Of course, I have it already created here. Try to use the same names I'm using. And you are going to search for that. Sorry, I didn't see it. You are going to see as a string group, okay? And the first one that you are going to place or you are going to create is activity name. That's going to be the name of your variable, okay? So create this. And on here, you are going to place the names of the activities, okay? So the first one, as you see here, it's going to be relax, okay? So once more, don't put anything on 0 because you cannot start with 0. You can see it starts with 1. And in 1, you are going to put relax time, okay? Number 2, it's going to be sing. Number 3, it's going to be comedy, and so on, okay, guys? So you can see I have more activities, but of course, we are going to learn just from to the number 9, okay? So as you see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 that are going to be our numbers and also our names, okay? Now, you are going to do the same, okay? You are going to create a new variable. Once more, you are going to select once more string group, okay? So remember, character string is just a single, group is going to be this one, okay? And if you see, the groups are going just to be the same as you see here. It's going to be a table, okay? Where you can put variables with some specific key, that is going to be the number, and a value that is going to be what is going to be inside of it. So in this case, we are going to select again a string group, guys. And this time we are going to name it activity text, okay? And once more, we are going just to do the same, okay? So from our table, we have existence. All right, existence. We have song for the number 2. So number 2, song, and so on, joke, for the number 3, and so on. As you see, it's just doing the same, but we are dividing this. So activity name here on the top is this one, okay? Just let me place here, and activity text, it's going to be this one, okay? So as you see here, this is going to be the name of your variable, and this is going to be the value, and of course this is going to be the key, okay? So you are going to have those numbers right here, and those everything. What we left for that, we have the item section, okay? So as you see here, I don't have any item, but in here we will have to create like a different variables, okay? So the first one you are going to place is inventory or item. Let me check how I place it here. I completely forgot about that. So you need to create a new variable, and you are going to set up as a item group, okay? You're gonna find it here. You don't place this one, you have to place this one, the one that says item group, okay? Select that one, and you on here are going to create 3 variables. The first one is going to be item 1, item 2, item 3, okay? So how you place it, item 1, okay, item 2, and item 3. Okay, you can put more of them. Of course, I'm just set up my games to place it only in 3 items, but you can do as much as you want it, okay? So, what you are going to do on here, you have to add a complete list here, as you see. If you don't have all the numbers, remember with the plus, you can add more values. And on here, you can set up which items you are going to place for that activity. So, once more, item 1 is just going to be this first one. Sorry. Item 2 is going to be just this one, okay? And item 3, it's going to be this one, okay? This is going to be the items that you are going to give. So once more, item 1, in the first 4 activities, I don't have anything. You can place something like this. If you place fruit work, we are going to delay it later. So this one and click to select is just going to be the same, okay, guys? So just for you to know. Hello, how are you, Dark Knight? Welcome, bye. And yeah, just 2 of you. And welcome new. Okay, guys, so once more, 4 fruit activities from the number 1 to the number 4. Those 4 doesn't have an item. In the number 5, we have as number 1 the painter, okay? So as you see, in the number 5, we have the painter. Now, the second item is going to be paint an egg, okay? So, as we only can place 1 item per group, we are going to create a second variable. We are going to name it item 2. And in item 2, you can see painted egg, okay? As you see, it's like a list. And the third item, or item 3, is going to be this one, that is going to be wins. And as you see, it's going to be wins right here, okay? So you can set up that very quickly, and you are going to have like all the list with the different things that you have it, okay? Now, we left a part, and it's going to be this, okay? We need to tell the game how many items you are going to give to the player. How do you do that? You are going to place a new variable. This time, you are going to choose the numerical group, okay? No value, this one is not going to work fine. Just choose numerical group. That's going to work fine, so select that one. And in numerical group, you have to place item number, okay? So what it's going to do, as you see, it's item number 1, item number 2, and item number 3. So in here, you are going to place the amount of charge for the item that you are providing. So remember, item 1 was painter, but the amount is 1, okay? And remember, it's the number 5, okay? So what I'm going to do is number 5, I put 1 item, okay? So now for the number 2, okay? For the item 2 is going to be a painted egg, and I'm going to give 128. So you see number 5 on item number 2, I have the amount. So you have to create, of course, 3 variables. This is going to be item 1 with amount of charges and so on, okay? And you add the amount of activities with the number. That's going to be the most complicated part of this. So this is going to be a quick way to have like a database for your game. And that's how you are going to have everything automated. You don't have to set up everything for the activities, okay? Now, and the final part and the most easy one to understand is how to create the awesome meter, okay? Of course, you cannot see it because we are not in multiplier, but on the top here, okay, let me close this. You have this part, okay? That is the awesome meter and the reactions, okay? So I put the next list for it. Place, because we are going to learn how to do this, how to make a reaction bar, but you are going to place an emoji with a number. Once more, we always do the numbers here, and we are going to put an effect, okay? So this, the love or the emoji text, is just the same that we do before with the activities. So the number 1 is going to give 6 points to the awesome meter, and it's going to tell the game that you love that something that is doing the player. The like is going to have 4 more points in here, and it's going to be likes. The dislike button, that is going to be this one, it's going to reduce the amount of the point or the score of the player, and the boo, it's going to reduce amount more. If you are the host, you are going to have 2 reactions more. This one that gives more time to the activity, and this one that reduces the amount of activity, so the host will be able to control the game. Let me show you very quickly here. If I place here, it's going to reduce the time. If I place here, it's going to increase 15 seconds of the time, okay? And we are going to do the same, guys, okay? So keep in mind this number. You are going to create an emoji scored, okay? So let's do this. As you see, let me show you. If I place here, the number increased. If I place here, the number decreased, okay? Now, we are going to do the next thing, guys. We are going to just place in here. You are going to go once more to the activities, and you are going to create a 1. You are going to select also numerical group, and then here we are going to place the scores, okay? So the name of my variable is emoji score. As you see here, we have the value for each one of the different like numbers here. So the number 1, it's going to be +6. As you see here, you have the number. The number 2 is going to be +4. And so on, you can see we have the same values, okay? Oh, of course, I see here I made a mistake. On this one, it's supposed to be 15. And that's it. Now, just with the same rules, as I think now it's very clear, you are going to create the text, okay? So you are going to create a string value or a string set. That means with characters, with letters. And for that, you are going to see a string group right here, okay? So you are going to create another string group where it's a strings. That's something that sometimes it's hidden for me. And if you see, you are going to do the same, okay? Give me a second on here. So you can say love. It's the one that you can see off the top. The number 2 is likes. So you have likes here, and so on. You have all the activities here, okay? So I think that is going to be very clear.